Hey, hey, Leafs Nation. It's your boy TML Domain, aka Persian Poppy. Um, Last night's game wasn't very good. The Leafs lost to the Montreal Canadiens 4-2. And it really comes down to the Leafs' sloppy start. They weren't very good. They were making a lot of mental errors. And ultimately, Jack Campbell wasn't good enough. And he said himself post game that the streak was getting to him a little bit. He put a little too much pressure on himself and he wanted it a little too much. And, you know, sometimes that can work against you. It's also one of those things that makes me wonder, if he puts this kind of pressure on himself during the regular season and it it altered his game, you know, can he really be a number one goaltender? Can he carry a team in the playoffs? And there's a lot of pressure on the Leafs this year in the playoffs, and you know, just just that alone might mean that he needs a little bit more time to get used to playing more games and playing under the pressure and things like that. So, um, it's it's definitely something to think about. I know he's a humble guy, and he says after the game, I should have had that and I should have played better. That stuff, I don't worry about. That stuff, I let slide. It's the part where he says post game, the streak is getting to me a little bit. I wanted it a little too much, and that worked against me. So um, I don't know. You play in a game 6 where you're up 3-2 and you really want that game and you really want to get out of the first round, and you know I don't know if he can handle that kind of pressure when he puts it on himself. That remains to be seen. So uh please, Freddie, if you're listening to this, if you see this, get healthy, get back on the ice, and let's get ready for the playoffs. For the first time in a while, the Leafs ugly power play worked against them because they didn't score on the power play, but they did give one up on the penalty kill. And, this is going to be a real strain on the Maple Leafs until they figure out the power play because when the power play is not scoring at all, um, your penalty kill has to be perfect. And it wasn't last night. And even though, the Suzuki shot was kind of a weak goal by Campbell, it's hard to be perfect on the power play. I mean, the penalty kill. So the Leafs need to figure it out. Matthews scored again. He now has a 7-goal lead in the Maurice Rocket Richard chase. And there's only 14 games left. So I don't know. You guys tell me. Is it a foregone conclusion? Is Matthews at this pace? He's scoring at a 0.82 goals per game pace, and nobody else is even close. I think the next person on the list is at like 0.5 something goals per game, which is probably Connor McDavid. So, he has 32 goals in 39 games. He's on pace for 43 and 53, which is to hit 40 this season is an astronomical feat. So, you know, personally, I really want to see him hit that number. And fun fact, Um, if you had to write up a list of players who've had 30 or more goals in the last 5 years, the list only has one name on it, and that's Austin Matthews. So, McDavid isn't on there, Crosby isn't on there, Ovechkin isn't on there. And, while it's super impressive that Matthews has 5 consecutive seasons of 30 goals or more, what's even more impressive is that it's his first 5 years in the NHL. Um, just That's pretty big. First 5 years in the NHL, 30 goals or more, guaranteed, lock, stock, and barrel. I mean, uh, you know, I don't know how much Ovechkin has left in the tank, but I don't think he's going to catch Gretzky. And when he hangs him up, he's going to pass the mantle on the best goal scorer in the NHL to Austin Matthews. And I'm pretty sure he's going to destroy his generation in terms of goal scoring, like Ovi did with his generation. So it's it's one of those things where you watch these games and you care about the wins and losses and playoffs and things like that. But as Leaf fans, every time this guy plays, every time Austin Matthews dresses for the Leafs and he scores a goal, it's history. You know, you need to take these moments in as a Leafs fan. And for the next God knows how many years he's going to be here, he's probably going to be here till he retires. I guarantee you that. I shouldn't say probably. I, I guarantee you that he's going to sign another contract after this one's done. And, you know, it's it's been a privilege to watch this guy play as a Toronto Maple Leaf. He's got me out of my seat a million times. I know he's gotten Leaf fans around the world out of their seats a million times. And, it's watching him play, the players that are around him. I wish him nothing but success when it comes to the playoffs because I don't want this kid's legacy to be tarnished at all by Leaf fans and their negativity and their bullshit. Um, you know, he needs to win a couple of rounds, maybe get to an Eastern Conference final, and hopefully he wins a Stanley Cup in his lifetime. As a Toronto Maple Leaf, just because it will really solidify him as I'm pretty sure he's going to beat every single stat Sundin ever set as the best player to ever wear the Toronto Maple Leaf uniform. And I think Matthews is going to be the next guy that takes that mantle as the best player to ever wear the Toronto Maple Leaf logo. And so, you know, when you're watching Austin Matthews play and he's scoring goals, take stock of these moments. 5, 10, 15 years from now, 20 years from now, 30 years from now. We're all going to be looking back on these moments and be like, we watched the greatest Maple Leaf of all time in his prime, from when he got drafted right into his prime. And, you know, it's definitely something special. Um, yeah. So he's got 32 goals in 39 games. There's 14 games left. He's on pace for 43. And I find it hard to believe that somebody else is going to score more goals to catch up. So it's very interesting. Um, the Leafs finally lost a game in regulation. In the last 11, they're 9-1-1. In the last 10, they were 9-0-1. They had a 10 game point streak, which got snapped last night. And, it's it's unfortunate that they lost to the Montreal Canadiens, but at the end of the day, they can win every single game, and they have a solid hold on top place in the Scotiabank North Division. So, with 14 games left, you literally go 500 the rest of the way, and the division is yours. And most probably, the Leafs are going to be playing the Montreal Canadiens first round. So, um, let's see. Hopefully by next weekend, Nylander and Nick Foligno will be in the lineup. I know tonight the Leafs are playing the Calgary Flames, and David Rittich was on the ice doing some going through. I think he was on the ice for like 20 minutes this morning with the Leafs goalie coach Steve Briere, and he was on the ice for 20 minutes. He had a new Leaf mask and he had Leaf pads, and he did some work. And Steve Briere is gonna let Sheldon Keefe know if he's ready to go tonight against the Calgary Flames. And I know, and knowing David Rittich and his how he's a pretty emotional guy. He's gonna want this game tonight. He's gonna want that win tonight. So it's gonna be an interesting game to say the least. Um, Nick Robertson played his first full game of the season. The first game that he played, he got injured very early on in that game, and so he played maybe half a game, not even half a game. So he played his first full game as a Toronto Maple Leaf, and he looked pretty confident. He looked fast. He was on the puck. He was moving his feet. He didn't get to play too much. I think he only played 8 minutes and 11 seconds, and that was mostly due to the Leafs' sloppy start and that the fact that they were chasing the game. So he didn't get to play too much. Ingvall's another guy who didn't get to play too much. And, Nick Robertson registered one shot on net, which I don't know if you guys remember, it was a pretty decent shot too. Um, you know, a wrist shot that had a lot of pace on it through the defenseman. Jake Allen made a blocker save. So Nick Robertson didn't look too bad. I really hope he gets ramped up here and he's ready to go for the playoffs. And Rasmus Sandin soon gets put into the lineup. He's probably going to be switching in and out with Dermott a lot towards the end of the season, as Dubas said that he wants Rasmus Sandin ready to go for the playoffs as well. So we're going to see a lot of moving parts. Leafs have a lot of depth at forward and defense, and we're definitely going to see a lot of different combinations and a lot of players come in and out of the lineup. So these last 14 games are going to be interesting. I don't, I have no stress watching these games. The Leafs are the Winnipeg Jets lost last night, so they didn't gain any points on the Toronto Maple Leafs. So it seems to me like, the Leafs pretty much have this division in the bag, and they just need to play decent hockey down the road, which they will, because now they have David Rittich and you don't have to rely on Michael Hutchinson. So it's going to be Campbell and David Rittich. And, Campbell doesn't have to play every single game now, which is good. And hopefully Freddie gets healthy and plays some games down the stretch here, so David Rittich doesn't have to play a lot of games. And I think it's just one of those things where you keep all the goalies in the fold, you keep them all ready to go loose and ready to go for the playoffs. So yeah, unfortunate loss. I'm pretty sure the Leafs are going to win tonight. They're going to try to get this one for David Rittich, and he's going to want it, and the players are going to want to win it for him. So stay tuned. It's going to be a good game tonight. Go Leafs, go. I'm going to be posting another video shortly. That's going to go over all the deadline moves and what the Leafs roster is going to look like come the playoffs and all the different line machinations. So stay tuned for that. And we'll see you guys tomorrow with another video reviewing the Leafs versus Calgary game tonight. Stay safe, guys. See you soon.